everybody. It's Annie Mazmanian. Can somebody comment so I know that you can hear me? Please, please. I see there's 2 people watching. Somebody comment, say something, give me a thumbs up. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. All right. How's that? All right. So I'm so excited you could all join me. Wow. All right, let's wait a little bit. I actually got on right at 2:00. So exciting. All right, let's get this screen. Sorry, I'm just gonna do a little bit of moving around while we hopefully I'll give it a few more minutes. Let's shrink this screen a little bit. There we go. It's exciting. Can you all hear me? Nobody wants to say anything. How about a thumbs up? Something. Okay, there. Tara, can you hear me? Yay, Tara. All right. So what time is it? All right. You can. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. I'm still so anxious and nervous about this going live. Makes me anxious. I'm so nervous. Anyways, hi everybody. I'm Annie Mazmanian. Thank you so much for joining me. So I thought I would do something special along with the scentsy reveals and product reviews. Thanks, Tara. I'm not gonna focus too much on the chats. I know I get a little distracted by them. I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate all the support and comments, but I do want to share with you guys something new that I've been trying to do for the past few months, and it's gonna just be kind of like little motivational talks and how you can incorporate those into your scentsy journey, into your scentsy business. So they're just going to be a series of talks, and I've kind of labeled them. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel called Something Amazing with Annie Mazmanian. And this is going to be another one. It's called I Win and I Learn, but I Never Fail. And so listen to my little talk that I compiled here. It won't be too long as I don't get distracted by the lovely chats and comments that you're all sending me. Thank you so much. But I do wanted to meet hopefully twice a month. We can do this. And whether you come online while I'm doing my lives or you watch it later, it doesn't matter. But I do encourage you to share this with your team, share this with your friends. You don't necessarily have to be a scentsy consultant to enjoy these. These can be applied to any aspect of your life, really. I don't mention too much about it. Sorry, I don't mention too much scentsy in these chats or in these little talks. I still don't know really what to call it. I kind of just call it Something Amazing because when I was doing my research for them, it just kind of popped into my head. I kept saying, wow, that's amazing. And as you may have figured out already, I say amazing a lot. So I was like, wow, that's something amazing. So it just kind of stuck to label these talks as Something Amazing. So I don't know. It's just a little something funny I wanted to share with you as my friends. And oh, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much for supporting me. I love that. I appreciate all of your supports, whether you watch me, you order from me, or you send me hugs and kisses via the internet. I really appreciate that. So like I said, I'm going to get started. This little talk, Annie Talk or Annie Cast or whatever you want to call it, is called I Win and I Learn. Sorry, my eyes may be deviating to my left. It's where my notes are posted. But I will, if you do leave some comments or questions, I promise to get to them later. I try my best to answer all of your or respond to all of your comments within a couple weeks or so. I hope you notice that I'm pretty good at that. I do my best. So yes, so this talk is called I Win and I Learn, but I Never Fail. So I want you to take a moment and think about in the past some failures I'm going to put in quotation failures, and I'll get to that word in a second. Some failures that you've had in your past, some times in your life where you felt like you've crashed, you've burned, or maybe some even relationships where you felt that it took a wrong turn, or decisions or actions that kind of blew up in your face. Now really think about those times in your life where you would label it as failures. So yeah, think about it. Maybe even just think about one aspect or one certain thing. Now I've got something in my head. Now kind of turn it around in your head and think of all those wrong actions or botched attempts and mistakes. Did anything good or useful come out of that bad relationship, that bad decision, or that crash and burn? Did anything good or useful come out of that? So, like in my mind, I think, okay, that bad relationship, yes, something did good come out of it. That bad person came out of my life. So I came out stronger. I came out wiser. So, you know what? When you really break it down, something did good come out of it. Something useful did come out of it. So, another side note is, in reality, every painful mistake that you've made has kind of given you a stepping stone to a better you in some way or another. I know that's sometimes hard to wrap your head around it, especially if the failure or the mistake or the bad relationship is fresh. If it's a fresh wound, it probably still really hurts, and it's probably difficult to kind of wrap your head around understanding that there is some light at the end of this tunnel, or there is some breathing room, or that this is probably a good thing for you. Oh, thank you, Angel. I appreciate it. So you know what I mean? That's what is really hard, but really kind of put those fresh wounds aside, kind of, give it a little lick, and in reality, there is something good that's going to come out of your your bad relationship, or your bad decision, or your botched mistake, or whatever. But I want you to try to understand that failure as a concept is incredibly short-sighted. And for example, okay, so in regards to failure being short-sighted, like for instance, if you're watching, say, a football game, and you decide to leave the football game halfway through when the score is 6-6. Sorry, I do not know anything about football or hockey for that matter, considering that I'm Canadian. I love watching live sports. It's so energizing and fun. But let's just say you're at a sporting event, the score is tied, and you're like, all right, let's go. I'm done. I'm going to get up and leave. You have no idea how the game is going to end until you actually stay till the very end of the game. You have no idea, right? So to reiterate, you have no clue where the story ends in your hold on, where did I leave my note? To reiterate, you have no clue where the story ends or where the game ends unless you keep going. That meaning, like, unless you keep marching on, like not giving up, or stay at the football game or hockey game and keep watching. This is true for your ever unfolding adventure of a life. Makes sense? As painful as those memories may be from your past, those botched decisions, those failed relationships, those painful mistakes that you have made, or bad decisions, isn't it also true that in the process you learned something new, that you gained some sort of insight or some sort of understanding or valuable experience? Think about this one. Haven't some of your setbacks or failures actually been some sort of a redirect that guided you into a higher path? Like when you really, really think about it, like I said, I understand if some of these mistakes, or especially past relationships, may be fresh or new, like like what I mean, like wounds. The wounds are still fresh; they're not as deep, or the scars aren't healed yet. I understand it might be painful to really think about it, but when you do, I ask you to really, really think about it. Those those mistakes, those failures can really help you grow as an individual and give you some useful insight and make you at the end a better person. Now, I know that's like, oh, Annie, you're just the forever optimist. You're just always so happy and cheery, and you always see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you know what? That is true. I am an optimistic person. I choose to be an optimistic person, and I choose to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that might be something that I've worked on throughout my whole life. Um, and I don't know, maybe that's just the way I cope with things, but it doesn't mean to say that I haven't had my setbacks, or I haven't had my fresh wounds, or botched mistakes, or bad relationships, or like gosh, like my teenage years, my 20s, even I'm in my 30s, but even my early 30s, we've all, sorry to say, we've all done shitty things, right? We've all made shitty decisions, and we've all had our setbacks, our ups and downs, definitely. But I do choose to see things in a better way. And when it comes to, oh, thank you, Irene. When it comes to failures, I don't look at it like a failure. I look at it like an opportunity to learn. And in the end, even though it was a failure or a loss, I still won. Does that make sense? So that relationship ended, but I still won. I still came out breathing, alive, and stronger than I probably went in before, because I learned something. I gained something from that relationship. And even the bad decisions that I've made, or attempts at certain education or certain courses that I may have failed in the past, I still learned something out of them. Yes, maybe I didn't pass that course, or maybe I got a bad grade on that test, but it doesn't mean that I didn't learn anything in the process. So I still consider that a win. And that's what I'm trying to kind of teach you today is, no matter what you do in your life, whether it's you consider it a fail or a loss or a mistake, try to, in your mind, try to find the good in it. Try to find the learning outcome of it, or the win in it. So anyways, so yeah. So anyways, I found this interesting quote online from, she's a former judge in Newark. Her name is Chief Judge Pratt. She once said, failure is just an event. It's not a characteristic. People can't be failures. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And actually, if you just give me a second, I do have it here in my notes as to what she actually did. People can't be failures. Look, we all make shitty judgments, call little flops or events, not permanent character traits. Okay, so here's, okay, so Pratt, so here's, I'm just going to read it right off. So what I wrote down, I think I just pretty much copied it right from the internet, but she gained international acclaim for her work reforming the criminal justice in Newark, New Jersey. Instead of prison sentences, she handed out introspective essayist assignments. So it's a judge in New Jersey that gave criminals essay assignments. Her courtroom had so much applause that it was compared to an off-Broadway show. So that was her quote. So she said, failure is just an event. It's not a characteristic. People cannot be failures. So to go on, people can't be failures. Think about it. Look, we all make shitty judgments, but your flops are events, not permanent character traits. Failure is not who you are. So that's to go on with what she was saying to like her criminals in her courtroom. It is not who you are. It's just a flop. It's not a permanent character trait. So when I heard that, when I read that, I was like, that's really interesting, because I was kind of comparing the word failure to happiness, because that's just who I am. I always, right? Like, I don't want to hear a negative word. I want to hear a positive word. So whereas I feel like the word happiness is a character trait, and how is it that failure is not a character trait? But again, it's your mindset. So this judge in New Jersey just chose not to put her criminals, or her, I shouldn't call them criminals, I'm sorry, put her I don't know, what do you want to call put the people on a prison sentence. Okay, I'm just going to call them criminals. I'm so sorry. Put the people on prison sentences to not have them think that way. She was trying to change their mindset, to have them think in a more positive mindset, so that they can learn from their mistakes, to gain some insight. So that's why she was asking them to write an essay, so that they can learn from their mistakes, right? So that they come out learning and winning from their mistakes. And that's what I'm kind of trying to teach you right now. And like I said, you can take this talk and apply it to any aspect of your life, not necessarily relationships or just bad decisions. I mean, you can apply it to scentsy as well. And I will get to the scentsy component in a second. Just bear with me for a few more minutes here. But so know that you are not a failure, and you can never be one, okay? Because failure is not a character trait, okay? Failure is an event. So something also that I wanted to share with you. I want you to think about the word failure. This is how I look at the word failure, or more or less how I look at the word fail. And I got this off the internet as well. The word fail, I look at it as faithful attempt in learning. So FAIL, faithful attempt in learning. I know that sounds a little like cliche and cheesy, but it's true. It's really nothing to fear and avoid. It's all about perspective, right? Failure is not, it's just kind of a flitch in your solvable journey. It's a must-have feature. You have to it's almost like it's just a part of your journey. It's another kind of stepping stone. Like your journey is always going to have little ups and downs, and your downs are not failures. They're just faithful attempts in learning. So, yeah. So really, as a cliche, I know it sounds silly, but the only way you can truly, truly fail is when you stop learning and stop growing. So going back to that little example that I gave you about the sporting event and leaving halfway through when the score is still tied at 6-6 or whatever you want to say, that is really failing, because you haven't finished your story. You haven't finished your journey. You're just giving up. You don't want to learn anymore. You don't want to grow anymore. That is truly what failure is. That is what truly, in my mind, what true fail is. So now how do you take this and put it into kind of a nursing person, or I'm sorry, nursing. I'm thinking about work, into a sensey perspective. So I know, times are tough sometimes, and given maybe the state of the world now, or maybe the state of the world maybe 3 weeks ago, I know some states and some provinces are starting to open up, and the weather is getting better, and people are getting back to work, and maybe the economy is going to slowly start getting back to, normal, or whatever our normal is. But I know it's been really difficult. So the thing I want you to learn is kind of, in a way, don't take no as a failure, or don't take the fact that you couldn't reach 200 PRV in the month of March or April as a failure. Because unless you absolutely did not try or did not grow or did not finish watching that hockey game, then you didn't fail. Do you know what I mean? You learned something. If you sent out texts and posted on social media and shared information with your clients and your team, and you interacted with your team or your higher ups or your horizontals or whatever you want to call it, but you still didn't get 200 PRV, that's okay. That does not mean that you did not fail. That means you won and you learned. Because did you learn and did you win? Did you gain some insight out of that? Yes. Because you put yourself out there by posting stuff on social media, by getting your name out there, by sharing information with your team, with your clients, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. Just because you may not have reached your goal, which was your 200 PRV, let's say, does not mean you did not fail. Sure, there was a glitch in your process, but that's okay. You keep doing what you're doing, you keep growing, you keep learning, and you will get there. Like I said before, it's your process. Don't worry too much about your goal. Your goal will come no matter what. Focus on your process, because that's what will help you learn and win. Set your goal. Sure, you will get to that goal, but focus on learning and winning, because you're doing that every single day. Don't ever stop, because that's when your true failure will come in, or your true fail will come in, is when you genuinely stop learning and stop growing. So does this all kind of make sense to you? I really, really hope so. So I want you to take away some questions. So something amazing to think about today and for the next couple weeks until we can meet again is here. I wrote, think about a specific time you failed. I'm going to put that in quotations, or more accurately, made a faithful attempt in learning. And I'm going to post these questions in the comment section after. But what are 3 good things that came from your faithful attempt in learning? That's the first question. What lessons did you learn? And third question, what valuable understanding do you now have that you wouldn't have otherwise? So those are 3 questions that I want you to answer to yourself, or put them in a little journal, or leave them on your image board or something, or even just answer them in your head what was I going to say? I want you to answer those questions thinking about a specific time that you think that when you made a faithful attempt in learning. Remember, we're not going to use the word fail. We are using the word fail, but what really it means is faithful attempt in learning. So those are your takeaway questions. All right, I think that's done. I think I'm done. I'm just going to send a few shout outs. Thank you, Giselle, for joining. Alicia. Oh, Lisa, you retracted a question, but I'm going to still say hi. Irene, Alyssa, Angel, thank you so, so much. Sheila, Tara, always appreciate the love and support. We got Dallas, really, really cool name. Tara's there, Natalia. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on this something amazing talk today. I really, really appreciate it. I want to let you know that I am going to be online. I'm going to try to meet with you. I'm just opening up my calendar here so I can give you the right date. So, okay. How do you all feel about meeting again on May 18th? So it's going to be another Monday. It's roughly 2 weeks away. We're going to meet again. I will obviously post the date I'll post the date again on YouTube and on Instagram. Hopefully you guys can follow me on those 2 channels, and we can meet again on that date. It's a great date. It's a Monday motivation #. I love that. And we can discuss something then as well. I have another excellent talk for that day. Hold on. I do have it in my phone. What is it called? One second. Okay. That talk is called We Are Wired to Win. So that's going to be another interesting talk. They're all going to be roughly about the same amount of time. I'm going to do my best to keep them around 30 minutes or less, like a pizza delivery. 30 minutes less or it's free. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. So these are going to be all saved under my Something Amazing playlist. Remember to share it with your friends, your family, and your team so they can also be inspired to never fail, to always keep learning and to keep winning and to take something positive away from what they perceive as something negative. But remember, change your mindset and you will always keep winning and learning. But in the meantime, thank you so much for all your love and support. You guys know how to get a hold of me, right? Yeah, visit me online. All my contact information is there. But in the meantime, it is amazing02.scentsy.ca. And yeah, leave me some positive comments down below. I will promise to get back to you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, please, please, please be safe, be kind, and always be amazing. Bye for now.